Well, good morning and welcome once again to yet another edition of Out and About. Barry Fair and Mark English with you for this Monday morning and episode 45 and 46 now in progress. Well, before we get into today's episode and tomorrow's episode, well, Sydney is still happening, but I still have to wait. But we won't talk about Sydney yet until I get more confirmation. Well, recapping last week where we went Scarborough and what a day we had there. Joining me now in the studio as usual for Out and About. Good morning, Mark English, and welcome.
Good morning, Barry, and thank you for having me.
Well, today on the show, we're going to go out again because it's too good a day to be sitting here. So, just recapping on what we always do before we bring an episode to you. We went to Scarborough and we went to Morgan Seafood and had a lovely time there. Here's Mark now to open episode 45 with this.
Barry, yes, we had a lovely time and a lucky time, really, that the weather wasn't great, but it didn't rain on us, and there was a nice, comfortable temperature. So, all in all, very, very nice day.
So today we're going to talk about how to prepare for a storm. So you probably heard on the news that there is this massive storm cell. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so we often get warnings and predictions of extreme weather events, and it's best to know how to prepare for those weather events when they're on their way, even though a lot of the times it doesn't eventuate to be as bad as predicted in your personal area, but usually somebody cops it. So it's worth taking note of all of the precautions that you can take for storm season and how best to protect yourself and your property.
So what you need to do, guys, is really prepare yourself, clear your rooms of any guttering, make sure you've got plenty of tinned food and bread, make sure you've got a torch and radio with spare batteries, make sure you've got buckets to clean up if your home doesn't get inundated by floods. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so I suppose there's no real way to know 100% for certain what's going to happen, but the weather predictions have been becoming eerily accurate, and the warnings they send are worthwhile and do provide opportunity for us to prepare for events prior to them happening.
And also, keep the kerosene lamps out of the reach of children too, guys. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so if it comes down to having fires for any reason inside the house, e.g. candles or kerosene lanterns or any other kind of flame lit lantern, obviously they pose a significant risk to housing, and they need to be kept where they can't be interfered with or accidentally knocked over, etc.
So prepare yourself for the worst, guys. Okay? And if you get a knock on the door from the state emergency service, you have to evacuate pretty much as proper. Well, as soon as you get that knock, actually. Here's Mark.
Luckily, I've never been in that situation, but I imagine that they certainly don't come and give you a personalised warning for no reason. And we all have different views on sort of protecting property. I'm one that it's just stuff, and protecting lives is vastly more important. And to be taking yourself and any loved ones out of harm's way seems to me to be a very sensible thing to do.
And make sure you know where your evacuation centers are in your area as well. Because the SCS may set up an evacuation center for you, whether it's a community hall or an RSL club. So make sure you've got enough pajamas, food for the kids, yourself, and all that. Here's Mark.
Yes, I suppose back in the day it used to be the cyclone survival box full of tinned food and all of those essentials, like Barry said, spare batteries, candles, the torch, the radio, all the things that you might need when you lose power, or if you lose power and need to wait it out. So these days it seems to be more about a more sensible action is know where you can evacuate to and take the opportunity to get out while you can.
And I receive warnings from the emergency services as well. Please do that. Here's Mark.
Yes, absolutely. As I said, they don't do it for no reason, and they're the people that are best placed with the up-to-date information to try and let you know way for you to move forward. And if that means that they've come to the conclusion that evacuation is the safest, then unless you feel more qualified than them, you probably should take their advice.
And with the bushfire season as well, also coming up, the same thing. Okay, know where your bushfires are and where they're taking place. And if you know that a road is going to be closed, please adhere to the warnings either on your website or on your radio or on your TV. Here's Mark.
Yeah, it's exactly the same for all emergencies of any description. If you have prior warning, then you should, in all common sense, act according to the direction. However, as I said, if you feel more qualified than the people warning you and telling you should evacuate, then your life is in your own hands.
But don't leave it until it is too late, guys. The sooner you get out, the better. Here's Mark.
Yeah, the obvious downside of protecting property is loss of life, and it happens on a regular basis, both in floods and fires, because people stay to protect their property against overwhelming odds. And the truth is, if it's generally only dumb luck that saves anyone during these things, not a brilliant firefighting effort and hosing down the roof. So again, I would suggest that if you've been warned, then you probably should remove yourself from harm's way.
Well, we're going to take a break and plan what we're going to do for today. So we've covered phone manners enough already because we've covered it so many times. So we don't need to tell you how you should behave on the phone. So that video from last week is up there now for you to watch. So we're not repeating ourselves over and over again. So, and also we'll be talking today about preparing for summer and safety at the beach and that all important getaway for Christmas. So that's all coming up today on Out and About. So here's Mark to tell you about it.
Well, as Barry said, we're about to take a break and plan. So at this point, I don't know very much about it. But hopefully in the next 5 minutes, I'll know exactly what we're up to.
So stay with us, guys. This is Out and About. It's Monday, the 24th of October. Stay with us. Well, good morning again and welcome to Out and About, and this is the early edition of Out and About. Today we're doing the show now because we're going bowling because we want to be able to do it later on. So, well, I've said we are at Start Point and we're going bowling today. So joining me at Start Point, here's Mark English. Good morning to you. Welcome back to episode 45 today.
Thanks, Barry. Looking forward to going bowling today.
And we thought we'd put our bowling skills to the test. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, we've got a bet going, and whoever wins has to shout the chicken schnitzel lunch.
Yep, so all bets are on, so whoever wins, they shout the lunch. Here's Mark.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm looking forward to you shouting me lunch today, Barry. It's going to be beautiful.
So the rules about shopping centres, we hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer on about it. You know what that is over there? It is a garbage bin.
Well, we can see the garbage bin, but they're in plain sight. So I'm assuming that you're talking about not littering.
That is correct, yes. And anyone caught littering is in big trouble. So don't just pick up your rubbish and go. We've said it before and we'll say it again today on this program. So our trusty cab driver is back on the road this week, so welcome back to Bruce. Here's Mark now.
Yes, the stars have aligned and everything's back in place and where it should be. So Bruce came and picked us up this morning and did the very short trip to Strathpine. and here we are.
So normally we would go the long haul, but today I said to Mark, let's check out the bowling alley and put it to the test. Here's Mark.
Yes, I'm looking forward to having a bowl. It has been some time since my last visit to the alley, so I'll be using memory rather than skill.
So this program today is proudly brought to you by Strathpine Bowl. Here's Mark.
Because we're going bowling. So I'm looking forward to getting in there, and while we're talking, can't do it.
We can't do it because it's too noisy in there. So, the rules of bowling, you've got to be on your best behaviour, guys. Here's Mark.
Well, your best behaviour, you're just there to enjoy yourself, have fun.
And make sure your attitude's right. So the importance of having a good day out is behaviour, guys. Here's Mark.
Well, yes, within whatever parameter that needs to be, behave yourselves.
So here we are now at Strathpine, like we said, and we've just been to the bank, okay, and so that's all done and dusted. Now, also last week on the show, we talked about how, well, Mark didn't, but I talked about how I put Out and About together. Well, like I said, I do the recording of the show, do the intro and outro, and things like that. So what I do is I select the files that are important for the show, talk about the relevant topics and things like that. So how I put the show together, well, I've just explained. Do the recording and then put it on my USB stick, and here's Mark.
Yeah, so obviously there's the studio computer and then there's the Out and About computer. So Barry uses both and records on the laptop while we're out, puts it on a stick, transfers it back, and then through the magic of television and some jiggery pokery that Barry does, it all ends up as part of a show.
So this is how I put an episode together each week here. Now, getting back to this all important stuff. Now, in a shopping center, you must always know your way around. Here's Mark now.
Well, signage is usually pretty good. Most important thing is to remember where you've left your car. And but apart from that, they're perfectly safe. You can get inside and just explore. So, and if you're keen to get in and out in a hurry, you've got to know where you're going. But otherwise, take your time, explore, find out what else is there that you didn't know existed.
So another rule, if you break down, that sign you see here is made patrol here. And that happens, but you've got to know that in case you do break down. Here's Mark.
That just makes it easy for the person coming to help you to find you. So they have a standard meeting point. It's easier than you trying to explain where you are in the car park.
So, and the same with the emergency services as well. You've got to tell them exactly where you are if you need an ambulance. Here's Mark.
Yep, well they'll ask you, usually keep you on the phone, and these days they can use a bit of tracking technology to find you. So, as Barry said, it's important to know where you are, but if you've got a fairly modern mobile phone, they should be able to find you anyway.
So we usually do the show later on, but we're going to take a break and tell you how we did in bowling. But before we do go to the break and tell you what's coming up, the importance of having a good attitude when out and about and when you're at home. Here's Mark.
I think you're trying to say it's just a matter of going out with the right frame of mind and remembering to be courteous, etc. And hopefully you have a good time.
So we're going to take a break, go bowling, and like we said, whoever wins today at bowling gets a free lunch.
Is that? I thought I said the winner shouts lunch.
The winner shouts lunch. So whoever wins bowling today, they get to shout for lunch, okay? So whoever wins, they shout it. Here's Mark.
Well, there's nothing left to say except get in there and do it.
So we're going to take a break. You are watching Out and About. Here's Mark to tell you what's coming up.
Well, we're going to go bowling and then come back and tell you about that. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Let's go and knock them down. So this program today is proudly brought to you by Strap Pine Bowl. Thank you for coming on board with us. Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to our show. We just completed bowling, and here's Mark. Welcome back.
Thanks, Barry. And as luck would have it, 2 games of bowling, 2 winners. So it sounds like bowling was the winner today.
And it was. So we've got the scores to show you here now. Here now.
Well, we would have if I didn't put them away.
For that. And here they are there. Here's Mark to tell you about it.
Yes, you can see from the totals that we're not going to be making any money from bowling anytime soon. So, great way to fill in a couple of hours. And on this now unseasonally warm day, the air conditioning in there was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was. And what a great way to bowl. Okay. If you find the weather is too hot, guys, drop in on into Strap Pine Bowl. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, we didn't have to wait for a rain. It was organised and done within seconds. It was fantastic.
So, bowling, it's a fun thing to do,
Absolutely.
but don't play school just to come bowling. Here's Mark.
Well, it's been a long time since I was there, and my understanding is that people don't spend much time there anymore. So, it seems impossible to my mind that you would need to wag.
Well, these days you would get detention. Here's Mark.
Well, I think, yep, you probably would get detention if you wagged, but there isn't much reason to nip out when you don't have much contact time.
So, bowling is a fun sport, so weather's too hot, guys. We know what to do. Here's Mark to show you the effect where it comes. So where,
Right, so strap line bowl, and it's on level 1 with the cinemas at
there you go. So
the shopping centre here. So
it's on Kimpy Road at Strapline. So if you're in the Strapline area, guys, do drop in and shoe hire. So 2 games for $12, guys. Here's Mark.
yeah, very nice value, and as I said, very pleasant. Lovely to be inside in the cool when it's hot out, or vice versa in the warm if it's cold out.
So with the summer weather coming up, guys, okay, just moving off the bowling, okay, it's very important to keep cool and have nice cool drinks as well. Here's Mark.
Yep, absolutely. Once it warms up, make sure you stay hydrated and keep drinking lots of water. I know there's a lot of concern about what you drink, but in reality, anything's good. So if you don't drink water and you only drink coffee, fine. Drink coffee, but just drink.
But if you become really dehydrated, get rehydrated by drinking plenty of water, okay, staying cool inside your home, okay, because this is really important. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, Barry's right. It can become dangerous to become dehydrated and overheated. So always make sure that you keep the fluids up to yourself, particularly if you've been unwell and you have to force them in, then that's what you have to do.
But if you're really unwell, call the 3 Donuts, 000. Here's Mark.
If you're really unwell and can't get yourself to somewhere and you need to have an ambulance collect you, absolutely call 000. But I would suggest to you that you haven't listened to anything we said if you let it to get to that stage from dehydration. So just keep drinking the water.
Keep drinking the water, guys, because this is really important. And the top temperature out here is 41, because that's what we said earlier on. Another important rule, guys, okay, we're going to be bringing this up again in future episodes about and what is the breach. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the show. Okay, so another thing with cars and kids and pets, never, we repeat, never leave anybody lost in a hot car because the temperature could get to a very hot 55 degrees. Here's Mark.
Yeah, no, Barry's absolutely right. And on top of everything else, these days you will end up in prison if you ignore this simple piece of advice. There are zero excuses accepted for it. So if you think you're just ducking in for 5 minutes and you'll get away with it, don't.
Forget it. Take the kids out of the car, bring them into a shopping center for a nice food drink or a nice block. Shout them to a kid's meal or something. Here's Mark.
Well, Barry's gone to a whole new level of generosity. The rule is you can't leave them in the car. So take them in, and you know, as much as it slows you down, and everybody knows it does, you're still obliged to take them in.
Because you cannot, we repeat, you cannot leave anybody in the car. Do what you have to do when it's much cooler, or do your shopping at 7 o'clock in the morning when the supermarket's open, and that way do your jobs before the day gets too hot. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so alternatives, but you just know that according to the law, you can't leave people in the car anymore. So that's the end of it.
Because if you do the wrong thing, leaving anyone in the car, guys, that is it. The police will be called and you will be called. Here's Mark.
I can't add to that. That's a self-ending story.
And it's the end of the story, and you will have to face court, and like, it is against the law, guys, to leave anybody in the car, even if it's for 5 minutes. So, for goodness sake, use your common sense. Here's Mark.
Yep, absolutely. Can't make it too important. You know, there's been no shortage of very high profile reinforcement of this, with a number of deaths and near deaths this year in Queensland. So it's a highly relevant topic, and it can't be stressed enough that it's just a simple safety measure, and you know, people die from ignoring it.
So if you want to face the police, okay, then the choice is up to you. You have the choice of either taking the kids out of the car, bringing them in. There is a cinema here where you can get to two if it's too hot. So with the hot weather, like we said, okay, it is coming up to a hot summer and a stormy summer. So if you've got jobs to do, please do them, or it is still cool in the morning. Okay, I said this last year in Sydney, whilst I was doing productions down there, and I will do some of this production up here before I head back down. But I'm just gonna wait and see what happens with that. I'm pretty confident it will happen, but again, I'm gonna wait to get mine.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where we're up to on the 28 business day waiting scale at the moment, but it does seem like it's been a long time. Anyway, we're still waiting to hear.
And no matter what the outcome is, we still bring the show, and I'll still be going down. Here's Mark.
Yeah, well, you're determined to get there, Barry, so it's really just a matter of waiting for all of the exceedingly slow wheels of bureaucracy to turn. Just one revolution would be nice. And, you know, eventually, maybe this year, maybe not, you'll find out.
Well, who knows?
My point exactly. Not us.
So, anyway, with the summer weather coming on, guys, because we're heading into November very shortly, and don't forget Halloween is coming up as well, but we won't be bringing a show up on that because it's not important enough. That's the kids' zone. So please, guys, don't be a fool this summer, and if you are going to the beach, swim between the red and yellow flags. Here's Mark.
Yeah, any time that you're at the beach, safety first. So swim between the flags where it's monitored, and you keep things safe for everyone.
And never again leave any kids in the car, or even if you go to the beach. Here's Mark.
Even if nothing,
And
just never.
don't do that, because I did mention this last year on the show in Sydney, so I will mention this here in Queensland too. So don't be an absolute fool, guys. There is absolutely no call for it. You're not only going to get in trouble, but you will face court as well. There is absolutely no call for stupidity during the summer months. And if you've had too much to drink, okay, don't take your anger out on someone else. Here's Mark.
Okay, that's taken a twist I was not expecting. So, we were in parked cars before, and now we're drinking. Okay, well, yeah, right. Just, there's never any excuse for abuse, intolerance. Just, alcohol's no excuse for bad behaviour.
Yeah, well,
Done. It doesn't even need to be mentioned.
so anyway, enjoy your summer, guys. Sorry we derailed a bit, but I thought we better mention it because it is coming up to Christmas. Well, so enjoy your time and be happy. Well,
And safe.
and safe. And if you are going away, guys, you know, please take it easy on those roads. We will also cover this back at the studio today. So just a few closing message questions. Mark, did you enjoy bowling?
Yes, I did. And, you know, it's a nice environment, lovely and cool, great way to spend a few hours, as I said.
So we'd like to close the show now by saying thanks for being with us here at Staff Point. We've still got the lunch review to go yet, so here's Mark to tell you about it.
Well, we're about to head in and get some lunch, after which you will be hearing about it. But I, at this stage, am not sure what you will be having. I'm guessing, but I don't want to be presumptuous.
Okay, so we will now close the show and say good afternoon to you from here. But thank you everyone, and the number that we rely on 24 hours a day. I close the show with this message every time. 000, don't use that number for stupid, trivial issues. Here is Mark now to close our Staff Point adventure with that.
Barry's absolutely right. You don't want to be toying with emergency services. Hopefully you never need them, but the people that do absolutely rely on that being available when they need it. It is, after all, for emergencies. So, you know, they're not expecting calls, even though they're inevitable. So please don't abuse it, and let them get on with what they're meant to be doing.
So on that note, guys, thanks for joining us here at Staff Point today, and we'll wrap it up back in the studio to give you a recap of today's show and preview of tomorrow's show. Here's Mark.
Look forward to speaking to you back there.
So, from Staff Point, everybody, this program today is being brought to you by Staff Point Vault. I'm Barry Fear. The show is not over yet, so stay with us. We've got the closing, the wrap up and closing sequence of Brave Park and the lunch review as well. So have a great afternoon. If you feel like bowling, head on in. So we're off to have some lunch now. So take care, and we'll see you back at the studio. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, we've just concluded our day at Staff Point and bowling, and here's Mark to tell you about it.
Well, we've done the bowling, and now we've had some lunch, and Soul Origin has been the very happy recipient of Barry's choice again today. So those chicken schnitzel paninis must be good.
They are. So we'd like to thank the staff at Staff Point Bowl for their assistance today. Here's Mark.
Yeah, it was very easy, as I said. There was no waiting, and so the lanes were all beautifully set up for us with the, I don't even know what they call those things you roll the ball down.
The ramp.
The ramp, and had a choice of heights depending on who's using it. So yeah, it was all very, very easy.
So now we're just waiting on Bruce to come and collect us, and here's Mark.
Yeah, so he's actually due right on time. That might be the first time ever that we've got a taxi in the afternoon at the designated time. So, red letter day.
Better than 2 hours later last week. So,
Yes.
so we'll be back with you at Bray Park very shortly to wrap it all up. Here's Mark.
Yeah, we look forward to finishing off and saying farewell until tomorrow.
And the number that we rely on, you know what it is, we've said it before and we will say it again. 000, please do not ring that number for stupid, trivial issues. Here's Mark to close our Sapphire adventure with that or without that.
All right, well, after absolutely annihilating Barry with a combined total of 2 points more over the two games, I'm claiming victory today. And that was a great result. So, you know, I did have to misdirect some of Barry's balls into the gutter to do it. But, you know, I had that option, so I did. And you did enjoy your lunch, as usual. So it's been very positive so far.
So, like I said, 000, please do not ring that number. Here's Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Save it for emergencies only. They need to concentrate on what they're meant to be doing, which is rescuing people.
And the wrong call that you make, 000 could cost someone like me their life, or Mark, or anybody. And that's where we must say goodbye from Sapphire now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, we've come to the end of another episode and another film. This has been Out and About with Barry and Mark today. Here he is to tell you about.
All right, so pretty nice day out, I've got to say. Got everything done that we wanted to get done. We managed to have a very leisurely time bowling. We got picked up by the taxi on time. We're back at the studio on time. It's one of those days where everything seems to have gone right. And it's been a lovely day as well. So we've had a great time.
And here's Mark to show you the scores.
Oh, well, if Mark knew he was going to do that, he would have got the scores out.
And
he has to remember where he put them.
And I'm just pause that. Okay, so here are the scores from today's bowling. Here they are. Here's Mark.
As you can see, 111 was the winner today. So in game one, that was me. And in game two, that was Barry. But oddly enough, 111 was the winning score both games. So we both got 111. And I'd have to say that's a pretty even day out.
Pretty good one too.
Absolutely.
So tomorrow on the show we'll be recapping the scores again. So just a few closing messages as always. Please don't be an absolute fool in the shopping centres and be an absolute nincompoop and pick up your rubbish and go. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, so we do talk about not littering a lot, and there's obviously, you know, a very clean gene in you somewhere, Barry, because you do seem relatively obsessed with it. But you're absolutely right. It's an essential part of living in a community where we all have to share open space, and you know, it'd be nice if it was just beautiful for all of us whenever we arrived, rather than some people arrive and then leave it in a pigsty for the next lot. So, as Barry said, never dump. Always put your rubbish in a bin. Can't see a bin, take it home.
So we hope that you enjoyed today's episode of Out and About, episode 45. Episode 46 is coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Who knows where we will bring the show to you? Here's Mark.
Well, we've made preparatory arrangements, and we just need to sort out exactly where we're going and let our chariot driver know, and that's all that's left to be done, really.
So we hope that you've enjoyed Out and About today. Thanks for your company, and Mark and I will see you tomorrow.
Look forward to it. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
And the number that we rely on, nearly forgot that, 000. Don't be an absolute nincompoop with that number and put someone's life at risk. Here's Mark to close episode 45 with this.
Barry's right. We need to keep those services clear for the people that are actually having emergencies, given that's the only reason they exist. And if they are dealing with anything other than emergency, they're wasting their time and potentially endangering someone.
And like me as well. So please, guys, think, is your urgency an emergency before you call? Think, please. Here's Mark to take us out with that message.
Yep, as Barry said, please don't do it. Think of the consequences to others of wasting everybody's time. And on that note, I look forward to catching up again tomorrow.
So see you tomorrow, guys, for another edition of Out and About. This is where we bring it to you. Bye for now.
Bye.